Hello again, ladies and gentlemen, Socket here, and welcome back to NASCAR Racing 2003 season, the 2019 mod, rolling with the 2020 car set. We are here at the former Phoenix Raceway, former ISM Raceway. We're back to Phoenix Raceway with the start-finish line in between the old NASCAR Turn 1 and 2 in the last race of our West Coast swing here. 32 laps to complete the 10% distance, but only 31 in the tank. So we're going to be in fuel conservation mode just a little bit, waiting for that green flag. We're behind the 37 here. We've got Kurt Busch behind us, and down to the dog leg they all go, getting nice and spread out here down to fourth gear. They check up just a little bit. We'll roll the outside around Larson, and very loose inside the corner. You can see we're really fighting to keep it off the wall with very low tire pressures and cold tires. Turn 1 is a monster. We got through it okay, just scraped the wall a bit, the 37 to our inside. We will roll the top. I think we've got the good bite on the exit of turn 3 and 4 here. As you can see, the lone car up there running the top is Brandon in that WreckingandRacing.com podcast Toyota. Once again, if you're a NASCAR fan looking for a new podcast to listen to, search them out up on all of your podcast distributors, WreckingandRacing.com. So we'll follow Chase Elliott here, looking for a good run. We turned up the AI strength just a few percent after that domination in California. Hopefully we can get a good run for our money here. And with this being an edited track, we should be okay. And already, the yellow flag has come out. You can see the skid marks exiting the dogleg there. Looks like whoever got involved spun into traffic, so this will definitely put us within our fuel window. And I'm thinking 4 tires, because even though we only have a few laps of racing on these tires, it got slick and we need all the grip we can handle. So we will pit and I will be right back. All right, we're fortunate here to have a pit stall right on the backside of the garage entry or exit. So we've got a straight pull in here for 4 tires. We'll see what the AI does. They may split it, just 2 tires, thinking they don't have a whole lot of laps on their lefts, but I think we will be much better off taking 4. We may lose some spots here, but we'll get around Austin Dillon, who is also taking 4, settle in behind the 17 there, and looking for Brandon on the left side. He gets around Bowman. There's Bowman coming out now, and we will rejoin the field. So we will get everyone re-racked up, and I will see you for the restart. Coming to the green this time, we're behind the 17 of Chris Buescher, and that's our first caution flag this year. We've ran 3 races with no yellows, and leave it to Phoenix to produce the first caution. Green flag is back out. Everyone starts to split, and we'll get through the gears. Daniel Suarez charging to the outside. Back then, you can pass on the right. You don't have to stay in line. Already the 32 there got kicked down to the very bottom of the dog leg. Is he going to come up? He does come up in traffic, but gets through it. I thought that was going to be another crash that we would have to actually drive through, which would be most unfortunate. This track is kind of narrow. When the crashes happen, they kind of fill up the entire racing surface. So we'll see if we can make our way through here. We're not planning on being on pit road ever again this race. So as this long run kicks off, hopefully we'll be able to manage our tires just a little bit better. We've got Suarez charging, but down to the bottom, that looked like Stenhouse going to pit. I don't know if that was the best move for him, but if other AI are in his same predicament, we'll be able to make passes while they go to pit road. We rolled in 4th gear during that entire caution, trying to extend our laps as much as we possibly could. Now we do have a little bit of an uphill battle with the cars in front of us that took 2. These 4 tires are going to have to pay dividends later in the run, and you can see we're past Christopher Bell, and we got a nice run there into the wall, just a scotch, but we're not coming on planning on coming to pit road anymore to fix or anything like that. It's just a little bit scraped and no worse for the wear. But that neon rear end of, I believe that is Di Benedetto, definitely stands out as we go around the desert here. All the other colors seem muted and they sort of blend together, but that 21 sticks out like a sore thumb, that is for sure. Sticking out like a sore thumb as well is Chris Buescher, who is kind of slowing up our wheels of progress, but he is right on the back bumper of Bowman. If he can give him a bad time and force him too wide, we'll be able to capitalize a bit. But how about Corey Lajoie up here running with us? Maybe his crew chief made a really good call. That is good to see. Also good to see we're rolling the outside around the 17. We'll be able to get that bite off and complete that pass nice and easy. Now, where exactly did Bowman go? Now, Bowman looks like he is on the move. He has a fast piece. We drove into turn 3 just a little bit, had to chase the car up the hill. Thankfully, no one was to our outside and we could just keep on keeping on. Also, another caution would bring everyone right back. And if cautions breed cautions, you know, there's a bunch of cars running side by side right now, although we're kind of single filing out the longer this run goes. So we'll just have to see where this run takes us. Brandon holding off that 88 though, but Bowman is definitely on the move, moving forward. That is for sure. And Bowman hasn't had a good few weeks. In real life, of course, he won California, but, you know, here in our racing series, Bowman is on the struggle bus a bit, so he's trying to get back his racing ways. And we're feeling pretty alone right now, behind the 38 of Nemechek and the 32 of Lajoie. You know, at first glance, you would think that we would be running in 30th or so, but no, we're clawing our way towards the top 10. So we're not out of the woods as far as a finishing position goes. We do have those 4 tires under us, and I don't know if these guys in front of us have took 2, but we're definitely going to be better on the long run, I feel. We need this race to stay green for as long as possible to keep these tires the most beneficial. Brandon seems to be making up some time up there up top. He's definitely gapping the guys behind him a bit and catching the 21. And everything seems to be sort of equalizing right now. We are getting a better run, it seems, off the corner than these guys. If we can get that pull down the straightaway just a little bit and set them up for turn 3 here and get that drive. We just keep missing that apex. We want to be a little bit lower on corner entry to roll that corner, but the car, being as loose as it is, wants to be really snappy down there on the bottom. So as these tires wear in and the grip levels increase, we should be able to capitalize. Right on that 38's rear bumper here. Let's see if we can make the pass going into turn 3. Nope, we will give them the spot, but we'll hit that apex much, much better. We'll roll that corner and get that shot off just like that. That should set us up well. I think we'll carry that speed past him through the dog leg. Yes, indeed, we'll complete that pass, and he drops way back. Perhaps he got loose down there on the flat, but we made short work once we did get to the outside. Next up is the 32 of Corey Lajoie. We'll see how well we can track him down. And it looks like a 4-car sort of group there that Brandon is fighting in with Bowman, Di Benedetto, and I can't see who else is up there with him. But we've got cars within shouting range, and it does look like we're catching Di Benedetto pretty quick. That neon rear end is a lot more prevalent than it has been. We just need to make sure we nail our corner entries a little bit better. No pressure from behind so we can focus eyes out of the windshield. And yeah, much better apex into turn 3. That's feeling much better now, and I think that will give us a whole lot better drive off, especially if they're taking the flat and really slowing up like you see Lajoie doing. I don't know if we can get to his inside right here. We'll try to set him up in turn 3 if we can. We slid up just a bit, get back to the power late. So he'll gap us a bit down the straightaway. We'll see if we can get that run off of 4. I think we are much, much better off of 4 than these AI cars. We're just going to have to make sure we roll. There we go. Roll it nice and well, get out to the wall, perhaps too close. but carry that speed all the way down, and we will complete that pass on Lajoie and set up for the 21, who is now pretty solid in the windshield now. We're making up a lot of time on De Benedetto there. It looks like Brandon has gotten around that pack of cars. Can't see if that is perhaps Boyer in the Rush Truck Center's scheme. Can't see. It's an orange and black car in front of Bowman there. Or it could be Reddick. Now, Reddick has been having a good season so far, and indeed it does look like that Caterpillar car of Tyler Reddick. So Reddick is up here battling amongst Bowman and De Benedetto. But what we need Brandon to do is get beside those guys in front of him and start to slow them down, go side by side. We overdrove turn 3 just a bit, but we are gaining on Matt just a little bit. We need to keep him in the windshield, and that side-by-side battle there with Bowman and Reddick is what we would like to see. We want to see more of that. If neither one can get off the corner well, that's just going to bring them both back to me. And laps clicked down pretty quick here, only 32 in this total event, and we ran a few under caution. So as these laps click by, we're going to keep an eye out that windshield, try to hit our marks everywhere we can. It does look like those cars in front of us are battling a little bit better, and is that Truex on the bottom pitting? It did look like he was going to pit road. He did not pit, however, but he was definitely on the bottom. Brandon must have made a short work there of Martin Truex, who is also not having a stellar year that you would expect Martin Truex Jr. to have. Although it is a long season, plenty of time to get himself back up into the points, and plenty of time for people to drop out of the points as well. And yeah, we are set up nice on De Benedetto. If we can get that run down the straightaway and hook onto Bowman, that will feel pretty good. I think that's actually the leader at the front of this line. So we are within shouting distance of the leader, maybe a quarter lap down. We can see the leader going into turn 1 and 2 right there and going through. And Matt De Benedetto rolls out of the gas for us. Much appreciated there, Matt. We'll see if Bowman and Reddick do similar. And even Brad Keselowski is coming back to us. So if these are the guys that took 2 tires, their strategy is starting to come together, as these 4 tires are definitely picking them up and laying them down. We'll get that good run off of turn 4 and get right to the back bumper of Alex Bowman. I'm not going to move him, but I'm definitely going to get there as close as I can to see if we can get within turn 3, sort of diamond the corner a bit, see if we can get as straight of launch off turn 2 as we can. That's going to help our overall speed. And if we set up as great as we can here, get the car to turn to the bottom, you see he sort of rolled out of the gas there. We didn't have to his outside. That's going to be for position. Bowman rolls out, and now we're to the outside of Reddick. Ooh, that was almost contact. We wanted to get to the bottom but not take him out, but we do kind of get a crossover here, and we can see that Reddick may have been involved in one of those incidents, or perhaps he got some pit road damage. But we're on the inside going into turn 3. That's where we want to be anyway. We're going to really hook that bottom. Cleared Reddick just by a scotch, and it's fascinating to see if they're on the outside of someone, how they don't slow down in turn 3 like they do when they're by themselves. They really put the pressure on. But we're putting pressure on Truex here, and we've got Keselowski and Kyle Busch coming back to us as well. So those 2 tires are definitely falling off. This is what we wanted to see, is the long green flag run to end the charge. We'll get to the outside of Truex as well, and still picking him up and laying him down. Truex will give up that spot. And we're actually catching Brandon a bit, and Kurt Busch is in front of us as well. The Busch brothers battling side by side in front of Keselowski. Hopefully they stay side by side over the course of this next lap. We'll really start to pull them in. And here we go down to the front stretch. Good run, and some damage on the right side of those cars as well. Could be pit road damage, could be crash damage, but I don't think they would be up here if that was crash damage, but definitely jacked up right sides for Keselowski and Busch. Let's try the crossover, get the run off the bottom. We gave up a little bit too much speed there, but we can set up well for Brad in turn 3. If Brad looks to the outside around the 1, we're going to be right there. Good charge to the outside. Feeling pretty good about this run. We'll see if Brad appears in the mirror or if he's going to fight us. There he goes. He drops back. Set up for the 1. Just do not overdrive turn 1. That's where we give up the most time if we overdrive. And if we get to the gas too early, exiting turn 2 will end up in the fence, and definitely not what we want to do. We want to utilize our strengths, and that is turn 3, exiting 4. And a good bite, good run. Tried to stay in the gas, but couldn't. I really wanted to keep my foot in it, but Kurt rolls out anyway. Much appreciated. Old Kurt Busch gives us the spot. And we'll set up for Kyle Busch here. All right. Come on, Kyle. What do we got? Down to the inside. To the bottom. Let's see if we can get that bite. Very, very nice. White flag is out. Last lap. Brandon is hunting down the 42 of Larson. We've got 2 cars in front of us here. Kyle Busch rolls out. And this position right here is for 5th place. We are going to get him before the line. I'm trying to de-wedge the car here so we get the most out of it. Turn 3 is where we're going to make our money. We are going to roll as hard as we can, shoot straight for the wall, and cut our approach. There we go to the outside, keep the foot in it. Into the wall at the line, but I do believe that we got him at the line. Let's take a look at the top 10 and see who our winner is, as it wasn't myself or Brandon, so could be a new winner this time around. And ladies and gentlemen, your winner is Clint Bowyer. Clint Bowyer with the win. How about that? Good job, Clint Bowyer. Welcome to the playoffs. In second place, Eric Almirola. Third place, Kyle Larson. Man, Kevin Harvick coming with a 16th place. Fourth place, Brandon. 6th place, Ryan Preece. 35th, Bubba Wallace. Back to 7th, Kyle Busch. 8th, Brad Keselowski. We did come across the line in 5th place. Looking back to 9th will be William Byron, and rounding out your top 10, way back there, is Corey Lajoie. How about an attaboy for the Lajoie? And let's see how close we were about nailing that top 5. And there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Just a fender is all that separated us from Ryan Preece and that top 5. That was all about bragging rights, that is for sure. One thing we do have to look at that we haven't had to look at before this particular season is the reason for the caution. Lap 2, I assume the caution came out. We'll keep an eye out for those yellow LEDs to start flashing, and we'll see what brought this upon us here. Is the yellow out now? Yes, indeed. And this is a good camera view. I like it. That's one thing with these modified tracks is the interesting camera angles you get. So TV2 right off the wall, we can see exactly the point of caution. And then we can take a look at what driver made the goof. So let's go from the front to the back, and there we go. So it was old Ryan Newman. Get well soon, Ryan. But unfortunately, he was involved in an incident with Eric Jones. So they were 3 to 4 wide coming off of turn 4. And Jones is just going to come out of nowhere under Christopher Bell. He looks under Ryan, didn't know he was there, gets turned. But all in all, saves it, keeps it off the wall, so no worse for the wear. So that's one thing that we can look at as well, is where in the world did Brad Keselowski get his right side damage from? Must have been pit stops. Let's take a look here and take a look-see. Oh, and Jimmy Johnson got into him here. Let's take a look at it from the spectator cam. As everyone is flying off of pit road, Brad pulls out and bam, Jimmy is trying to get into his pit stall, and he just does the good old 2K3 slide. So let's take a look at the standings after Phoenix. Clint Bowyer is now in second place with 1 win. I'm the regular season sort of guy without a win, 60 points to the good over Chris Buescher. Martin Truex Jr. is tied. John Hunter Nemechek only 1 point back. Alex Bowman 1 point back. Matt DiBenedetto 3 points back. Very tight, as you can see, from 14th down to 20th and beyond. Still early in the season. Anything can happen, and next week we head to the very fast, very abrasive Atlanta Motor Speedway. So join me then, won't you? That will do it for me. Like, share, and subscribe if you are so bold. Thank you so much for tuning in, and I will see you next week for Atlanta. Take care.